I'm Alex Eller here with a Loper Volleyball Special here on 91.1 KLPR. I'm here with Julianne Jackson of the volleyball team, just talking about the regional tournament this last weekend and the games that UNK played within that tournament. So, first question, Oklahoma Baptist, they were a team that played you very tough early on in the season, but in the regional tournament, it was close that first set, but then you guys kind of handled them easily the next two sets. What changed in those last two sets from early on in the season in that first set to towards the end of that match?
Yeah, they're definitely a great team, and I think both teams were kind of still figuring out how to play together and how they're going to play for the season because it was one of our very first tournaments. So I think coming in with it being such a close match the first time around, we just kind of knew that it was going to be a tough game, but we just needed to kind of like persevere through it. We felt a lot more confident the second time around, so I think that kind of helped us quite a bit.
So past that Oklahoma Baptist game, you moved on and played Northern State. Now, Northern State, they were rated number 8 in the country. Against them, you handled them pretty easily. You were able to sweep them. What specifically were you guys able to do that really slowed down the Wolves in that game?
I think our defense was a big game changer for us, and it always has been throughout the season. The Northern Sun teams are very physical teams, so when you can get any kind of up or touches on the block or anything like that, it definitely changes the game and makes it more of our speed, and we kind of worked really hard to do that.
And just looking at that Northern State game, what in particular really stood out more than like Oklahoma Baptist? What was more of a challenge from that game to the next one?
Northern State had more of a balanced attack compared to Oklahoma Baptist. Oklahoma Baptist outsides were incredible, and they gave you a lot of problems, but I think Northern State had a lot of different people coming at you from a lot of different positions. So that was a little bit more, definitely physical at the net compared to our Oklahoma Baptist game.
From that Northern State game, you moved on to the championship, played another NSIC team, Concordia St. Paul, and just talk about how physical that match was just in general.
Yeah, day 3 of any tournament, you're playing 3 days in a row. That's exhausting physically, mentally, emotionally, everything you can think of from a team standpoint too. And, you're just trying to keep everybody together and on the same page because people tired at different levels. It kind of makes things hard. But everyone kind of really bought into like staying upbeat and giving it our all the whole time. So
in that match, you guys trailed in the 4th set, 20-11, and 9-4 in that 5th set against Concordia St. Paul. How did you guys as a team not mentally just fall apart throughout that and were able to come back in those 4th and 5th sets?
Yeah, I think a strength of ours all season has really been just kind of staying calm and relaxed and just trusting ourselves. I think that was a big deal on how we were able to handle the 4th and 5th set this past weekend against Concordia. Playing on a team when you're down by that much, which I realized, honestly, I didn't realize how much we were down until after the game. Like, wow, I don't even know how we came back and won. But that just really shows like how much our team has really bought into like one point at a time, one play at a time, and just kind of like playing relaxed, playing together, and playing as a team.
You in particular in that match, you had probably one of your best games of your career, 22 kills, which was a career high for you. Do you believe that performance had something to do with just the circumstances that you guys were playing in throughout that entire night?
Yeah, I definitely think when you're pushed to your limits, you definitely kind of dig deep for another level if you can. I don't know. It was one of those things that I felt like I let my team down in the 3rd set, and I hit a ball out of bounds out of attack air, and then I hit a ball into the block, and we could have won that set. So I think that was kind of motivation for me to kind of come back out and play a lot better, or at least play as good as I could for my team. And then my team did a great job of helping me get there by Maddie giving me wonderful sets the entire game, and then my back row keeping me good, digging balls up for me, keeping the ball going, everything like that. So honestly, I can't thank my team enough for continuing to trust me after kind of how everything went down in the 3rd set. So I don't know, I'm just completely blessed that I have a team that I do.
In that match, you guys had a lot of adversity that you had to go through, not just being down by as much as you were, but early on in that first set, you lose Michaela Bartles, have to rotate in a lot of players who hadn't played throughout that entire tournament, players like Josie Cox and Kenzie Puckett that just really hadn't seen the court a lot. Talk about the role that they played in that match.
Yeah, Josie and Puckett, they did wonderful things for us coming in cold into like a game, like a high intense game, playing an opponent, that kind of thing. It's definitely, you talk a lot about role players and a lot of people who do a lot of different things, and you tell your teammates, any given night it's your game, any given night we're going to need you. We need you every day in practice. And I think sometimes it's hard to buy into that, but our entire team has really bought into that, and specifically Josie and Puckett have been great role models, great leaders on and off the court. So it was really exciting to see them be able to come in. Given the circumstances, really sad to see Barty go. And it's one of those things that you can't replace Michaela Bartles because you can't replace anybody on a team. We're just going to have to shuffle around and figure it out. But I think it shows how wonderful leadership and what great character and players that we have, that they were able to come in and step up in that situation.
So you guys are Central Region champions. Moving on to the Elite Eight, just how satisfying is it to know that you guys are the first team in this storied program's history to make the Elite Eight since 2005?
Yeah, I don't know. I just knew from last year and the last 3 years that I've been playing here that we did make it past the first round, and getting to the Elite Eight has been a whole dream. But I think really our biggest goal was just to get past that first game, and then from there on, this has just been kind of I don't know, just extra stuff. And I think we're just going to keep playing as well as we can, as long as we can.
Looking at that Elite Eight matchup that you have coming up, it's against Gannon University out of Pennsylvania. Early on in this preparation for this match coming up on Thursday, what do you see that's going to really be something you guys are going to have to watch out for in that match?
We haven't really watched a lot of film on them yet. We haven't had a lot of time. It's a quick turnaround. But I do know that any team that's making it to the Elite Eight, especially in Division II volleyball, it's going to be a tough match no matter who you're playing. I think it's one of those things, especially after Concordia's game, I felt like we didn't play our best, or we didn't play as great as we could. So I think we're going to focus a lot on our side of the net and hope that kind of carries us through.
Thank you, Julianne Jackson, for coming in the studio and doing this interview with us. That's going to be it for here on 91.1 KLPR.